So here first we'll see RL series circuit. Now in this circuit, resistance, pure resistance and pure inductance are present and which are connected in series. So that's why it is called series RL circuit. So this RL combination which is connected across the voltage source V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and let's the current, small current I, which will flow through this circuit, which is the instantaneous value of current. Now we know that the voltage across resistance VR is equal to I into R by Ohm's law. In voltage across inductance VL is equal to I into X. V is equal to IR. In the purely resistive circuit, R is the opposition. Purely inductive circuit, XL is the opposition. So we can consider VL is equal to I into XL. Right? So these are the voltage drop. Then total voltage V is equal to VR plus VL. Not the arithmetic addition. Here it will be a vector addition. In AC circuit, we have vector addition. Now, we have the phasor diagrams for it. Phasor diagram for purely resistive circuit. We already know that voltage and current which are in phase for purely resistive circuit. So here we can draw the separate phasor diagram for purely resistive. Now for purely inductive, the phasor diagram that we have, the current is lagging voltage by 90 degree, so exactly perpendicular. So current is lagging voltage VL by 90 degree for purely inductive circuit. Now in this circuit there is a combination of resistance and inductance. Now let us combine these phasor diagrams. Now look at that. What is common here? The common term is current, which is on the x-axis. The common term is current, so we took it here is the current on the x-axis. Then if we extend the line, so it will be VR. So this becomes the phasor diagram for purely resistive circuit. Now for purely inductive, voltage is lagging, voltage is leading current. Current is lagging voltage and voltage is leading current, same thing. So VL is leading current by 90 degree. So by 90 degree, we have the phasor for VL. So here is the VL, here is the VR. Now we can draw the resultant of this VR and VL. And that will be V. Look at that, total voltage. Right? So just draw the middle hypotenuse for it. Then just join a dotted line to VR and VL. So this middle one, it becomes the resultant for VR and VL. Are you getting it? So combining these two phasor diagrams, you will get this final one. Taking current as a common on the x-axis, it is already there. So by extending, we get the VR. And for purely inductive circuit, voltage VL, which is leading current by 90 degrees. So we can draw it here. And resultant for this VR and VL, which is exactly middle of that, and we can just draw the dotted line. So this is the complete phasor diagram for RL circuit, series RL circuit, by combining these both phasor diagrams. Now for series RL circuit, here is the features you can see: the simple motor, electric motor, and the transformer. These are the examples for series RL circuit. In motor, there is a winding. Winding is having inductance, large inductance, and for the conductor, it is always having a resistance. So this becomes RL series circuit. Transformer, this is another thing. The transformer having number of turns. So that number of turns having large inductance and then also having resistance. So this is also an example of RL series circuit. There are a lot of examples. Choke is also there because even though it is an inductor, then it is having some resistance. So all types of winding, all types of appliances where winding is wounded, it is having a resistance and it becomes series RL circuit if it is connected in series. So this is the complete phasor diagram. Now let us see the voltage triangle which can be drawn by this phasor diagram. Look at that. How to draw voltage triangle from the phasor diagram. We have drawn this phasor diagram by combining the separate phasor diagram for purely resistive and inductive. So we have combined it, so it becomes this complete phasor diagrams. Right? Now let us draw voltage triangle by this complete phasor diagram. So for drawing the voltage triangle, let us consider any of the triangle from this rectangle. See, it becomes a rectangle now. By combining the VR and VL, there is a resultant V, right? So when we look at this phasor diagram, so it becomes a rectangle. So we can consider any of the triangle from this complete phasor diagrams and just mark the different voltages for different sides, then it becomes voltage triangle. Look at that how. So let us consider this triangle from the phasor diagram and just draw as it is. Look at that. This is the origin point 0. Then this line becomes the VR. This phasor becomes the VR. So as it is, we have drawn, and this side of the triangle, base side, will represent VR. That is a voltage across resistance. Then this front side, what is this value? See, this front side, which is equal to, as this becomes a rectangular, so this side is equal to VL. Both sides will be equal. So this side will represent adjacent side VL, voltage across inductor. And hypotenuse, this is nothing but the resultant of these two phasors. So it becomes V, resultant or hypotenuse. And the middle one, the angle as it is, that we can represent phi. So this becomes the voltage triangle for the phasor diagram, or the voltage triangle for RL series circuit. The base side represent VR, adjacent side represent VL, and hypotenuse represent V. So we can have the simple theorem of Pythagoras that we can calculate the resultant voltage V. In the right angle triangle, VR is equal to IR, as we know, and VL is equal to IXL, where XL is equal to 2 pi FL. So we can have the total voltage V, resultant voltage V, that is equal to VR plus VL. This is the phasor addition, vector addition, not the arithmetic addition. If a 10 SL and if a 20 SL, it is not 30. It is a vector addition. Right? Now, how we do vector addition? So this is we have from Pythagoras. So V, the hypotenuse, which is equal to under root of VR square plus VL square. Or we can have VR is equal to IR, VL is equal to IXL. So we can put it here. By solving this or just simplifying it, what we have, taking I as a common out of under root, then R square plus XL square. And we know that R square plus XL square, this is what the impedance. We also seen in previous unit, AC fundamentals. Mod of Z, which is the magnitude of impedance, that is equal to under root of R square plus XL square in terms of rectangular or polar. So V is equal to I into Z, where Z is equal to under root of R square plus XL square. Right? So this is the total voltage we can calculate. This becomes the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. And here in AC circuit, R is nothing but impedance. So V is equal to I into Z. So this is the voltage triangle, and many times the question asked in the exam that draw the voltage triangle, impedance triangle, power triangle, right? The next thing is impedance triangle. Now very simple, if you understand the phasor diagram, if you understand the voltage triangle, how we have drawn it, then we can simply draw impedance triangle and power triangle, which is based on the voltage triangle. Look at that. Consider the voltage triangle as it is. From this case, base side is VR, adjacent side is VL, and hypotenuse is V. Now we know that VR is equal to IR, VL is equal to IXL, and V is equal to IZ. Here mod of Z or IZ. Right? That we know. Now divide all sides by I. divide all side by I. So what we have, look at that. VR is equal to IR, so divide by I. So we have only resistance. Divide by I, we have only inductive reactance. Divide by I, we have only Z. Right? So divide all sides by I, we'll get the impedance triangle. So base side represent the resistance, adjacent side represent the inductive reactance, and hypotenuse will represent the impedance. So this becomes impedance triangle. Very simple. Now look at that. We can obtain by these trigonometric relations, basic trigonometric relations. Now different relations we can apply to this impedance triangle. Look at that. Sin phi, we know that. What is sin phi? Adjacent side by hypotenuse. Barabar na, basic relations है trigonometric. Sin phi is adjacent side by hypotenuse, VL by V. And in terms of this, XL by Z. Cos phi, see, base side by hypotenuse, VR by V, VR by hypotenuse, and R by Z, here R by Z. And tan phi, adjacent side by base side, so VL by VR, XL by XL. See, look at that. One point you can note, we can also calculate power factor by this relation. Cos phi is nothing but our power factor, right? So we can also calculate by this ratio, VR by V or R by Z. From the impedance triangle, look at that. X component of Z is what? Z cos phi, by this relation, or we can simply have X component and Y component. Y component is XL, which is equal to Z sin phi by this relation, right? So in polar form, Z is equal to mod of Z angle phi, where mod of Z is under root of R square plus XL square, and phi is equal to tan inverse of XL by R. हे इक्वेशन कसे येतात तर ते आपल्याला या ट्रायंगल वरून काढता येते. Pythagoras apply केलं तर mod of Z is equal to under root of R square plus XL square. We can calculate Z, and when we have to calculate phi, then phi is equal to tan inverse of XL by R. Right? Again, we can calculate phi by any of these relations: sin phi, cos phi, tan phi, whatever. You may consider any of these. Right? In rectangular form, Z is equal to R plus JXL, or in detail, Z cos phi mod of Z cos phi plus J mod of Z sin phi. This is in rectangular form. So this is the impedance triangle and different parameters that we can calculate from this impedance triangle. So hope you are getting it. The next thing is the waveform for series RL circuit. Now very simple, that we know that the phasor diagram we have already drawn for this. Look at that. This is the phasor diagram. Now from this complete phasor diagram, we can only have the resultant voltage V and the current I. So this becomes the actual phasor diagram. If you want to know, if you want to draw only the phasor diagram for resultant voltage and current, then we can have only this one. And here is the angle phi. This is the only phasor diagram for series RLC. Current is lagging voltage by angle phi. That we don't know this angle phi. So we can just simply give some angle between V and I. So current is leading by voltage by angle phi. So let us consider this only phasor diagram. So look at that. The voltage resultant voltage V and the current is lagging voltage by angle phi. So this is lagging. Right? Now with the help of this phasor diagram, now what we'll do, we'll reverse it. Initially in AC fundamental, we have seen with the help of waveform how we can draw the phasor diagram. But here we'll see the reverse. Just because of understanding. From phasor diagram, we can draw the waveform. Now look at it. Now let us consider voltage on the reference. We always consider voltage as a reference instead of current, even though it is on x-axis. Even though it is on the reference axis, we can simply move this. We can have this V here, and this current here. The same thing, right? Any of these you can consider. Same thing. He consider kara kiwa second. Same thing. Only the thing is that here we are looking voltage V on the horizontal axis and current is lagging V by phi. Same thing is here. Only we can see the current which is on horizontal axis, right? So for sake of simplicity, we'll just consider voltage as a reference. So starting from 0, V is equal to Vm sin omega t. Then current is lagging voltage by angle phi. So I is equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. We don't know the value of phi. We can calculate it by tan inverse of XL by R. So Im sin omega t minus phi. So this is the waveform from phasor. So we can have the equations. The applied voltage V is equal to Vm sin omega t. The current is lagging voltage. So I is equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. So in polar form, I is equal to Im angle minus phi and voltage Vm angle 0. These are the basic relations for waveform. Next thing is the power in series RL circuit. We know that the instantaneous power is equal to V into I. So put up the value of Vm sin omega t, Im sin omega t minus phi. So just simplify it. So it becomes Vm Im by 2, 2 sin omega t minus phi. We can have the different rule of trigonometric relations. So sin A into sin B, we can have 2 sin A sin B. So that we can have 2 sin omega t minus phi into sin omega t. Then we can use the different rules for trigonometry. Here is the simple arrangement: Vm by 2, Vm Im by 2, which is nothing but Vm by root 2, Im by root 2. Right? 2 sin A into sin B, which is cos A minus B. I think minus cos A plus B. Barabar aayega te baga tumhe. 2 sin A into sin B. Cos A minus B minus cos A plus B, I think. So by this we can have this cos in terms of cosine. Then just simplify it. Then two terms we have. This is the instantaneous power. Now when we take the average for these powers, so what we have, the average for this term Vm by root 2, Vm by root 2, sorry, here it will be Im, here it will be Im, right? Vm Im by root 2 and cos pi, and average of this second term. Now look at that. The average for second term is 0, which is a fluctuating with respect to omega t, and omega t is always fluctuating parameter. Phi, look at phi is not fluctuating, which is the phasor difference, right? Phase difference between voltage and current. So this is not the constant term. So we can have Vm by root 2, Im by root 2 into cos pi. So when we see Vm by root 2 is the RMS value of current and voltages. So final equation we have Vrms Irms cos pi, or simply Vi cos pi in terms of watt. So this is the average power for series RL circuit. So that's why we consider average power is Vi cos pi. And at last, the power triangle for series RL circuit. Now again consider the voltage triangle as it is. Base side is VR, adjacent side is VL, and hypotenuse is V. Now simply multiply each side by I. So VR into I, VL into I, V into I. V into I is what? Apparent power, that is S. VR into I, which is Vi cos pi. Vi into cos pi. This is again the basic trigonometric relation. Cos pi is equal to base side by hypotenuse, and therefore base side is equal to hypotenuse into cos pi. Now same thing is here. VL into I, that is Vi sin pi. So this becomes the power triangle for series RL circuit. Now we can have the relations from this power triangle. Vi is equal to Vri plus VLI, phasor addition. We can have in detail. Vri is nothing but Vi cos pi, VLI is nothing but Vi sin pi. So this we can put it here, or simply S is equal to P plus Q. That is, apparent power is the addition of phasor addition of active and reactive power. So that's why in definition also we have defined apparent power which is a combination of active and reactive power. So by this impedance power triangle, this is proof that why apparent power is the addition of active and reactive power.